What about debating President Trump? You think you could deliver the goods against the commander and cheese buff?
Well, Jimmy, if I do debate President Trump, I'm sure it'll be a competitive face-off where either one of us could end up on top.
Really?
No, I'd wipe the floor with him.
That, Governor, always good to have you. Well, you know, I'm looking at this list, and lo and behold, there you are in all your handsome glory. What do you think of that?
Oh, my goodness, what a fine-looking group of men and women on that list. Look, I think what's important here is there's a huge opportunity for Vice President Kamala Harris to really reach out in ways that the current president hasn't been able to, establish new ties with the business community, with the tech community, really to tap into that amazing American spirit of entrepreneurship and innovation. And that's really that optimistic vision that drives our company forward. It's what we've always done in my campaigns in Colorado. I was able to win Colorado by 20 points and even carry the congressional district that Lauren Boebert won. Yes, there are Trump polis voters. And yes, there's going to be voters that switch over from Trump to Kamala Harris. And we're excited to make the case.
Here's how good you are at this. You didn't answer my question. You avoided it. Would you be interested in that an offer if she came to you and said, Governor, I could use you on my ticket?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Neil, look, I love my job in Colorado. I have two and a half years as governor that I'm looking forward to do. I think anybody, and I'm sure if you got the call from Kamala Harris that you were on the list, you'd probably be willing to talk to her. I probably would too. But look, I'm really excited doing the job I'm doing. But if they need a guy who likes dad jokes, who declared his candidacy on Reddit and is a balding gay Jewish guy from Colorado, they know where to reach me.
Okay, duly noted. I do want to know, a lot of these folks that she is looking at, including, of course, you were a little different here, they were seen as possible alternatives to Kamala Harris. And now, lo and behold, most of them are, I wouldn't say falling in line, Governor, but are saying that they support her. Is it inevitable now that this open convention, whatever the ideas were for an open primary, sort of like a speed primary, kind of likened it to speed dating myself, is that off and not happening now? Has she moved this fast, and with the $81 million raised over just this roughly 24-hour period, kind of shied people away from challenging her?
She's working hard to win the nomination. She called me this morning and expressed gratitude that our entire congressional delegation from Colorado is enthusiastically supportive of her. I think she's working hard to do it. And other candidates can, of course, run. We won't have a formal nominee until the convention. I'm with Kamala. I think so many Americans are. She's the face of our future. It's about time to turn these arguments on the head. People are tired, whether it was Trump or Biden. They're tired of the past. They want to turn the page, move from the divisive politics of the past into the future. And I think Kamala Harris is that candidate for tomorrow.
Governor, thanks for being with us. First, your reaction to the news that came down yesterday of President Biden stepping aside. And secondly, do you endorse Kamala Harris at the top of the ticket?
Well, thank you for having me this morning. I want to thank President Biden for being a phenomenal president. He led us out of a pandemic faster than we have ever seen. He showed up in Kentucky after natural disasters and has helped us rebuild. He's helped us build the best economy in our history, building the 2 largest battery plants on planet Earth, the cleanest, greenest recycled paper mill we've ever seen, creating jobs all over Kentucky and providing the funding to run internet access to every home and every business. His decision, I know, was hard, but it's going to secure his legacy that I believe historians are going to say was a great presidency. With that, I'm excited to fully endorse Vice President Harris as for the next president of the United States. The vice president is smart and strong, which will make her a good president, but she's also kind and has empathy, which can make her a great president. And the contrast between her and those running on the other side couldn't be clearer. As a prosecutor, as an attorney general like I used to be, she prosecuted rapists, domestic abusers, stood for victims, and put away those abusers. Now look at the other side, where J.D. Vance calls pregnancy arising from rape inconvenient. No, it's just plain wrong. He suggests that women should stay in abusive relationships. Listen, a domestic abuser isn't a man, he's a monster, and no one should support anyone having to stay in those relationships. So the vice president is ready. She has my full endorsement. I'm going to do everything I can to support her.
As vice president, you undoubtedly would be able to help your own people. So are you at least open to the possibility of being a running mate to Vice President Harris?
Well, I think if somebody calls you on that, what you do is at least listen. And I want the American people to know what a Kentuckian is and what they look like, because let me just tell you that J.D. Vance ain't from here. Now, the nerve that he has to call the people of Kentucky, of Eastern Kentucky, lazy. Listen, these are the hardworking coal miners that powered the Industrial Revolution, that created the strongest middle class the world has ever seen, powered us through 2 world wars. We should be thanking them, not calling them lazy. And so today was an opportunity to both support the vice president, but also to stand up for my people. Nobody calls us names, especially those that have worked hard for the betterment of this country.
I think Dick Scott is in the background there. Oh, I was doing an impression of him wiping stuff off his lip. BS, no doubt. It has been fascinating watching the mega meltdown and fallout after President Biden announced that he won't be the nominee for the Democratic Party going into the election, but Kamala Harris will be the Democratic presidential nominee. And initially, I was thinking and feeling that CNN had won. They bullied the president out of his position. Those at Fox were celebrating. Now, having calmed down, slightly over the top, I actually think it's a genius move by President Biden. Because, one, he's outed all the clowns within his own party who are rushing to a cable news station to run down the Democrat Party, the way it was going, etc. He's made CNN look exactly what they are. Fox News, not light, but shite. He's made all the clowns at Fox. I mean, they're panicking today. One of them was saying, oh, wow, we didn't see video of Biden signing over the fact he's no longer going to be the Democratic nominee. Garbage. And you realise one of the things that, well, I put my hand up and done, I've been just listening to this chaotic garbage, and they've been putting out chaotic garbage now, literally for the last year or so. How offensive can they be? How shocking can they be? And it's all about coverage. With VP now becoming presidential nominee, we have a real great opportunity. And speaking of VPs, this is fascinating. You can clearly see J.D. Vance that, well, if you compare him to Marco Rubio, was meant to be way out there, because I think Trump thought, well, he was going to be the heir apparent to the Trump-a-thon and all that stuff, because they were going to have this huge wave. They were going to win everything. Let's see how that now turns out as the prosecutor KP steps up.
Next question is the debates. And I saw a post from former President Trump saying, you know, putting some question marks on the ABC September debate, which was supposed to be against Joe Biden again, and now I guess would be against Kamala Harris, also suggesting that maybe we would do that debate. Is that debate in flux? Is it a question mark now, Laura?
I think, as far as Donald Trump has always said, anytime, anywhere, any place, he is willing to talk to the American people any opportunity he gets, and he's happy to go on a debate stage. I think it's pretty funny because we kind of alluded to this happening. If you think back last week to our campaign, when asked if J.D. Vance would actually be debating Kamala Harris, we said, we can't say yes or no because we don't know who the VP nominee will be. Here we are. It would only happen on Sunday, Martha. So it's moving fast. Donald Trump is not scared of a debate with Kamala Harris.
Well, we look forward to that. We'd be happy to host it, and we'll see where all that goes. Laura Trump, thank you. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Well, I did say that Dick Scott was going to attempt to have a reaction. See who's got to say of the Biden Kamala Harris news, if he's going to make a comment.
Interesting because they are unbelievably successful.
Not at the moment. Some news, by the way. Joe Manchin, Fox & Co. were trying to put this bullshit
rumour around that Joe Manchin was going to be a contender that the Democratic Party would have to deal with in terms of stopping VP Harris getting the automatic accession to take over as their Democratic nominee to be president. They missed out a little point. Well, one, Joe Manchin doesn't want to do it, and two, he's not a Democrat. Little point, but the truth.
Joining us now, Independent Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia. Senator, thank you so much for coming on this morning. I would like to ask you, what would it take? What do you think is needed for the Democratic nominee to beat Donald Trump? There seems to be some conflicting news out there. Are you looking to challenge Kamala Harris for the nomination?
No, I'm not intending to run for any political office, and I've made that very clear. I'm retiring. But I'm going to be involved, and I like to have a voice, and I think I speak for the majority of Americans who are in the middle like me. 51% of us are registered to participate and vote, but we're independents. Only 23% of the base is a Democrat and 25% Republican. And unless you can talk and understand where we're coming from, we want to see all-inclusive. I was hoping that with the decision that President Biden made, that there would be a primary, that we could find out where the cream of the crop of the new generation. And I was hoping for that, Mika. And you've had a few of them on, which I know, Roy Cooper, I got Andy Bashir, Josh and Shapiro and Gretchen and Mr. Pritzker and all these. These are all good people. It would have been great to see what their thoughts were. And I think it would have strengthened Kamala if she hadn't come out on top. She'd have been strengthened. Joe Biden came out of a very contentious primary, as you recall, in 2020, Mika. But when it finally came down to it, he was the only one that said, I can bring people together because I've done it for 35 years in the Senate. I know how to work on both sides. He was the centrist moderate. And guess what? He won.
Dear those who munch on this channel. Yes, that's you, and you over there. Your mission, should you choose to accept, is to get yourself to invite more people along to the 24/7 Eyes channel. Please get them to subscribe any day between Monday to Sunday before 10 p.m. November 5th. For daily roasts with a political option and extra room for those wanting Dems on board. There will be gossip, banter, and funny bits to be shared every day as the British outsider Tony delivers non-stop what he's found round from America's political bag. This message will self-destruct and end in 3, 2, 1.